Hi, I'm Jan from VelomobileWorld.com and we shoot here a maintenance video, so have fun. Today's video I want to explain you how to check your track. So you drive, let's say, a couple of thousand kilometers and it's good to check the track if you have, for example, some space on your bearings, if all the screws are still attached properly. So come a bit closer and I will show you. So the first step to verify is if you have like play on this angle joints, I think it's called. Could be that there's another name, but these parts. So I check here and I check here, and this is a new bike. So I don't have one, but it can be there is, for example, play on the screw on this angle profile. So what you do in such a case, you take the angle joint down and let me see if this fits. Yes, that fits, that's nice. Let me get some imbus key. I forgot to get that one. So here is on this side there is an imbus, and I tied this one. In this case it was tight, but in case it's not tight, then tight this one up pretty strongly and put these back. So first a small washer, then the angle joint, a small washer, a big washer, and then tight this one. Make sure in case if you took this down and you are not sure about this brake, this blue material, if it has still power, better change it or put some Loctite 243 on the thread. It's also very important to check the counter nuts if they are tight. If they're not, then this is a bit not so easy to reach. Probably it's better to take it off again, and then you can tight it like this, so it's tight towards each other. Then here, this longitude bar is going through the wheel well. And I check if it is not, I take it like this to pull and push in that direction if it has no play. Also it's important, I take this off again, it's not taking that much time to do, so I check if this play goes easy, because if this goes very difficult, then if you steer, this longitude rod will be bended, and that's very badly because it will make the metal tired and will break. So this needs to go up and down easy. And in case if you have a bit of play, like in this way, then on this side there is a nut which you tight a bit, but don't tight it too much, because then this play will be too difficult and then you can get this bending force on it. I will take this one now out to show you how it's put in order that you understand better how much you need to tight it or not to tight it. So now I take this off. With one hand I block this this rod, otherwise it might be that you don't want to get out. So it's always nice for the video to do everything perfect and then you don't manage it. So as you can see here we have two rubbers, then there's, I think it's called tulle, and then a rubber again. Here you see a little space here. This one is in the wheel well. So these two rubbers is more protection if you drive through a pothole, that this rubber damps the shock in order the shock doesn't come on the carbon fiber. It could function without these rubbers, but as I told you, if you drive through a pothole, this is not a great thing for the carbon fiber because it comes a real shock on it and you might destroy the wheel well, which will corrupt in time the quality of your bike. It might break through the carbon. So make sure two rubber washers, then you have the tulle, that one you push in the carbon fiber, in the hole, and then this one. I will show you also how to replace this bar end or angle joint, and then we put everything back again. So if you need to replace this one because you have play, you can. So you untight this and then you can take it off, put a new one on, tight it again. This is need to be tied pretty strong. Let me see. So this is tight. We put this back, and I want to give you still one tip after on the ends where you have to look at. To put it back, you need to be putting back here, but because the camera can't film anything because my hand needs to be in front of it, I found in the bottom of the bike exactly the same size of hole. So I show you how to do it there, but I put it of course here in. As I told you, the tulle need to be assembled there, but I have here exactly the same size of hole, and here we can show you. So it's a bit of, yeah, a bit of work to get it in. Use a screwdriver, not too pointy, because otherwise you will destroy the tulle. So it's in. Before you put it in, check always if it's not broken. If it's broken, always replace it. There's a link in the description to the technical page where we have exploded views, article numbers, so there you can find which part to buy. This is a part which you can often buy everywhere in the world. So buy it locally or buy it by us. I don't mind. So put this back in and make sure you have the right order. On the technical support page there is more information how to do it, or what is the right order in the exploded view. Check that one out. Yeah, push this one in, or turn it so it goes in the tulle, which is in the wheel well. I use this wrench with an click it, I guess it's called, which makes it much easier, this job.
Okay,
so you put the rubber washer. I have to do it now a bit on an angle. And then this washer has a rounded edge and a sharp edge. So the rounded edge towards the washer. And then put the nut on. And then with the key I showed you, you can tighten it just enough. So it's not having this axial play, but still having this flexibility and to move like this and that. So you tied it like this, you hold it with one hand and the other hand. Make sure to put some oil on the thread, because you might have sometimes with inox on inox that it can kind of attack each other or out of the blue block, and then it's really not so funny. Then you need to cut it with a flex or something, which is really annoying to do. So it's better to put a little bit of Teflon spray. Teflon. In order the inox is not gonna bite in each other, because that's really not what you want. Then make sure this bar end is straight aligned with this one. So that one is tight. It's important that this bar end and the bar end in the middle are aligned with each other. So if they are not straight, then untie this one and retie it in order this one and that one is in the same line, and this one is the same thing. Then you have to check still by putting your fingers between the wheel and the wheel well to see if you change the longitude axle, or you worked on it or changed the rubber, that you make sure that the wheel is still in the middle of the wheel well. This means that the distance between the wheel and the wheel well on the front and on the rear are similar, and it's not like not like a millimeter precise, but you just measure with your fingers, or you make a little piece of wood which you try to fit between it to see if it's front and rear the same. If it's not the same, here in the front you can adjust it to untie the front screw and tighten the second screw, then you go backwards, or so like there you can play there to adjust the position of the wheel in the wheel well. So there are three methods how to check your track. First is just measure the middle of your tire, front and rear. That's obviously. If you have it like toe in, then you untie this one, you untie the screws and you tie that one or and a half turn in, or 2 turns, depends how much track in and out. If you have a lot of difference, make sure you do both. And if you have a lot of difference, check if the bars are straight, because maybe you drove through a pothole and you bent one of these bars, because normally it's straight when we deliver, and if it's really off or we made a mistake, or you drove through a pothole and something is bent. To have a new bar end, I think it's called bar end or bar with fillet. It's on the technical page. You can find it very easy there. It's something you can buy at almost every metal store where they sell metal parts.
so that's nothing special. Also, the original lengths are also on the website, so check that one out. The second method, I have made a video, I think last year, previous, that we drove down downhill, and we drove without cycling and then a little slope, and then we changed the track, and then we see how far we came, and then we changed the track in a different direction and see how far we came. That's the most precise method to check your efficiency, if you have the most efficient track. I have a link also in the description of that video, but that's something it takes for ages to check. And I want to show you now the third method. The third method. So this is the third option. Buy a tool which we have available on the website called Track Measure Tool, something like this. We did not give it really an official name for it. And it worked like follow. So the best to do this with a second person. To hold one person, to hold it here. Now alone, it's easier if one person is to hold it here on the rim. On the other side, I turn this until the rim, and I check like this and back and forth if I have a little bit of play. So now I have a little bit of play, so now I can pull it off without damaging my rims. And I put it back on the rear here, and on the other side I put it on, and I feel I have almost the same play as I had in the front. So in this case I have a little bit outside, toe out, like maximum 1 millimeter. It's better to have it like a millimeter toe in, because of the rolling resistance, the wheels will toe out a bit. So in this case, I will take one of the bar ends, and I will twist it in half turn outside in order the wheels will get a little bit toe in. But like 1-2 millimeters toe in until 0, that's fine. That's a pretty okay tolerance. Of course, if you want to have the optimum, then try and tune it a little bit better. But between 0 and 2 millimeter toe in, that's fine. I hope you enjoyed the videos about the maintenance. If you have still some ideas, please let them in the comments. But before you put comments, have a look to the other videos. Maybe we uploaded your question already. Don't forget to subscribe and have fun. See you next time.